Okay. Okay, so we see the question here. The question is on investment. The merchant has 300,000 to invest in two accounts because he wants a higher yield. He wants a whopping yield of 10,000. Is it $27,000 at the end of the year per year? And if he wants to get this kind of money, it's not going to be in savings. He wants to put it in a high yield um, accounts, two of them. Why is he choosing two accounts? He doesn't really want to do it in one account because nobody wants to put all their eggs in one basket. Just in case if he's going to lose all his money, he's not going to lose all of them because he's going to lose part of them. So he wants to put part of them in a high yield account with 12% return and another, the remainder out of 300,000 in 7%. Well, the question is, how much is this investor, how much is this investor, how much should she put in each investment? In other words, how much is he going to put in X and how much is he going to put in Y? Be careful. X plus Y must be equal to 300,000 because that's the money he has. You can't invest what you don't have. Okay? So you start with let X be the one return and let Y be the other return. You write two equations. The first equation will be return, this amount he puts in one return plus another one must be equal to the total amount of money he has. You cannot invest what you don't have. Now you want to write the equation for the returns at the end of the year. So he will have 12%, and I'm changing 12% to decimal. So 0.12x plus 0.07y will give him 27,000 at the end of the year. So now we have written a system of equation. Let's solve it. And I'm going to try to solve this using my, so let me rewrite this in my whiteboard right here. And I hope that, okay. So let me make sure, I want to make sure that I'm recording, my recording will be seen. If, okay, is my recording going to be seen? Chrome tab, Windows, entire screen, yes. Probably, okay. I'm recording the entire screen now, so I'm gonna go back and put this, clear this, get my calculator first. What's my calculator? Where are you? T84. Okay, open this. So now can you see the board? The person online, can you see the board? I want to make sure that you're seeing the board.
Yeah, I can see it.
What's in my board now?
Your calculator.
Very good. Okay, you can see it. Okay. All right, now that we have everything we need in my, so I want to go back to my whiteboard and rewrite this equation where I'll have space because it's going to be a little bit long. So I am going to choose a pen. Give me a pen. All right, let me get this pen. And now I want to write on both sides of the board. The first equation is that the amount he invests in one account plus the amount he invests in another account must be equal to the total amount he has in his bank. Do you agree? Yes. Okay. I want to make sure you understand this question because it's going to be in test, it's going to be in final exam, and you actually want to know it so you can, when you get your money, or if you already have the money sitting in a bank, you want to invest it somewhere. Okay, and the first, we said X is equal to 12% upon 1, 2. If we want to check, we go back to that PowerPoint. We see, so X is 12%. Y is 7%. So let me minimize PowerPoint. So that's 12%. 0.12x plus 0.07y is equal to the total amount he wants to earn at the end of the year. All right. So at this point, you have a system of equations which you want to solve. And it doesn't matter, you have to know one method. One method, that's all you need to know. And at this point, it's a real world problem. Nobody should tell you what to use. Use whatever you like. And I want to solve this system by substitution method. So let me call this equation 1, and call this equation 2. And I want to say equation 1 implies that y is equal to 300,000 minus x. So what did I just do? I selected x. Do you agree? So I call this equation 3. All right. And now that I have equation 3, I will say substitute equation 3 in equation 2. So that's what I'm going to do now. What does it mean? It actually means that wherever I see y in equation 2, I will plug in 300,000 minus x. So let me do that. So I'll bring down the whole equation 2.12x plus 0.07y is equal to 2,700. Oh, see, I have to do what I said I'm going to do. See, the reason why I want to substitute here. So I'm taking this off and I'm going to do the substitution. Let me use another pen. So parenthesis, the value of y is now this. Do you agree? So I'm now substituting for y, right? So 300,000 minus x is equal to, so I remember that equation 2 has 27,000 on the right hand side. It's equal to 27,000. So I have done this substitution. So I have to clear or distribute by 4 into the parentheses. Do you follow? You better follow because this question is in the test. And it's not going to be the same question. I reshuffled it so that if you're A, your question will not be the same as hers. So it's not about copying somebody's question. It's about knowing how to do it. That's why this is a prerequisite to calculus. Okay, so this is a pre-calculus class because somebody told me, well, anyway, let me not just get into that. So if we tested into this class, it doesn't really matter. You must know how to do some stuff. Okay, so distributing into the parentheses right now. So let's do that. And because I'm distributing into the parentheses, I'm going to pull up my calculator. And you better come over here because I don't want to take over what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm going to turn my calculator on and ask my calculator to multiply 0.07 by 300,000. So 0.07 multiplied by 300,000. 300,000. And it says it is 21,000. So I am going to rewrite my equation. So bring down 0.12x plus 21,000 minus x. 0.07 multiply negative x is going to give me negative 0.07x, all equal to 2,700. Now open the parenthesis. I collect like terms at this point. I am going to collect like terms at this point. And when I collect like terms, I have, okay, how did I get minus? This should be plus though, it's not minus. Okay. And so I have 0.12x minus 0.07x, and that gives me 0.05. If you don't agree, let me know. 0.05x. 0.12x minus 0.07x is 0.05x, right? Is it correct? Is it true? Is that true? Mm-hmm. All right. Plus 21,000. Oh, I can just throw that 21,000 to the right. It's equal to 27,000 minus 21,000. And I end up having what? 6,000. Do you agree? 6,000. And so 0.05x, you see why I'm using a whiteboard, because it's a long question. Divide both sides by 0.05 to isolate x, because I want to know the amount of money this investor will put in the one that is 12%. Divide by 0.05, divide by 0.05, and I have x is equal to, let me get my calculator again, 6,000 divided by 0.05. So 6,000, 6 divided by 0.05, 0.05 gives me 120,000. So that gives me 120,000. So x is equal to $120,000. What is the meaning of my answer, by the way? What does my answer mean? What does this answer mean? It means that this investor should invest 120,000 in the rate of return of 12%, the higher 12%. Does that make sense? So the amount of money the investor should invest in a higher rate of return is $120,000. All right? Let me write dollars here. Okay, dollars. All right. So now I am about to, let me get some part of the board. And I'm going to shift I need to shift this. Okay, so now I know my equation 3. This is my equation 3. And I want to plug in the value of x in equation 3. So I'm going to shift this so that I can do that. And so I know that my equation 3 is y is equal to 300,000 minus x. But x is, okay, when x is 120,000, then y will be 300,000 minus 120,000. And y is the quantity or the amount of money that he wants to invest in the rate of return of 7%. And so let's find out. So I actually have y is equal to 180,000. What is the meaning of my answer?
So
yes.
180,000 into 7%.
So if you are an accountant for this investor, you go and advise the investor, because they have accountants, they pay the person. So you advise the investor that the best thing is for you to invest 180,000 in a lower rate of return to avoid losing a lot of money. and then advise your client, which is the investor, to invest 120,000 in a higher rate of return. So if you because it's a higher risk, mhm, I want to lose a lot of money. So if you're losing your money, you're not going to lose a whole lot. Is that clear? Okay, so this is the amount of money that the investor should invest in a lower rate of return, 7%. Is it clear? So now let's get a question that looks like this. Let's get a question, ask your instructor question, a lot of them. You know why I came to class to do it? Because that's a whole isthmus.
Where did you get equation 3 from? Did you just
Okay,
find out?
okay, I'm going to scroll back there. How do I get equation 3? Good question. I'm going to go back. I didn't clean it. Notice that I have a system of equation in 1 and 2 right here. Okay, but I have created a system of equation in 2 variables, and I can solve it with any method I know. So I decided to solve by substitution method. And for me to solve by substitution method, I have to isolate one variable. So I decided to isolate y.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Ask another question, another person. Ask another question, because you should understand. See, if you come to class all the time, you will always know the question that's going to be in the test. If it's going to be a real world problem, like the centigrade and Fahrenheit question, like this one, you already know it's going to be in the test, and it's not going to be the same question. Mhm. But if you know how to do it, suppose there are only 12 questions or 10 questions. You get 2 questions correct. Okay. Any questions? First of all, I'm going to stop recording and then start recording again. I'm going to stop recording right now because I don't want this one to be too long. So I am going to the right here and stop recording.